I felt its hot breath against my ear as it sniffed at me. It was taunting me,
He was taking
testing
his mom's
me.
advice, though. He wasn't
How do you
looking at
mean?
it.
It was trying to get me to look at it.
So this is what I don't get. SCP-023 is called the Black Shuck, a hound-like creature that supposedly if you lock your gaze with it, it can kill you. But here's the catch. It can happen to one of your direct family members instead of you, and it takes a whole year to happen. It's very weird. Now, we've heard in mythological creatures and stuff like Gorgons and Medusas. If you ever watched the old Clash of the Titans movie, the Medusa was this snake-haired, well, I guess the creature was called a Gorgon. It's a serpent-type creature, and Medusa was a famous one of these. And basically, when it looked at you, it turned you to stone, which would essentially kill you. I think there was a way to, in some mythology, there's actually a way to reverse it. If you killed Medusa, you'd have to do it by cutting off its head, I believe. And statues would be fixed, be restored to their flesh. I don't see exactly how that would work. You never know. Hey, it's all myth and magic, and SCP is kind of on that wild side too. This isn't exactly turning stuff to stone, more like turning their organs to ash. I don't know, some weird stuff by SCP Animated. Make sure to head on over to their channel, guys, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos to SCP and horror content, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Let's get into this animation. Uh-oh. Oh, Agent Green was, the Dracula factory. He went down. Remember? Lawrence was telling him, Dr. Buck, that he didn't want to see him.
I can't do this anymore.
Is he in a coma? Or is he dreaming? Okay, that's the dog from the thumbnail. Yeah, that's the Black Shuck. I think that's how you pronounce it. Black Dog Tavern.
Whiskey, please.
Yeah? Whiskey.
You can't smoke in here, lad.
Well, it's a good thing I'm meaning to quit then.
Irish?
You don't seem from around here, friend. You're a tourist now.
I'm here on business.
Scotland?
Now, what kind of business would bring anyone out to this quaint little village?
Why don't you tell me, Mr. McTavish?
How the hell do you know that name?
Work for the foundation.
Let's
man.
just say I work for a certain organization that's been keeping track of you for a long time.
Yeah.
Look, I've told you people all that I know. I've nothing to gain from holding back.
We both know you didn't tell the Foundation everything. So now I'm here bringing the questioning to you.
Dude, this is a side of Agent Green that you've never seen before. If you've never watched these videos before, they have reoccurring characters in a bunch of them. Like we talked about, Agent Green is... He's been so mild-mannered. He was in a couple of episodes where he kind of flirted with Dr. Buck, which is one of the researchers that work at the SCP Foundation, a real bitter, hardcore lady. There's also just the fact that he's been very chill. He's shown mercy towards D-Class. He was in a containment cell that he was just like expressing like he didn't want to see the guy die and all of this stuff. He just seems very mild-mannered. This is, I've never seen him act like this before. Maybe this was in his young days.
And I guarantee you won't like the consequences of refusing to answer.
Wow.
Fine. What do you want to know?
He is a Foundation agent, though.
Tell me about the Black Shuck.
The Black Shuck.
I was a young man at the time, about 50 years ago. I lived in a small town outside of Manchester. My ma had always taught us to be a little superstitious. It was usually small things. Horseshoes and four-leaf clovers were good luck. Walking under ladders and breaking mirrors were bad.
Sure.
Never really thought anything of it. It was just the way she was.
Get to the point.
Well, there was always one thing my ma was adamant about. Don't look a black dog in the eye. It was the one thing that always stuck with me.
So isn't the typical superstitious thing the black cat? Like, don't let a black cat cross your path? Superstition has not ever been something that I was even worried about. The only superstition that I never knew was a superstition was actually that frogs could give you warts. It only made sense to me because I'm thinking to myself, you know, well, you are touching something, it can give you a skin condition. Like, I was thinking about it in the scientific way without scientific proof, so to speak. You know, I knew what looking at a mirror, for instance, or breaking a mirror wouldn't give you 7 years bad luck. I was never superstitious like that, or to any specific degree, but I am haunt when it comes to a lot of urban legends, so I don't know, maybe it's a thing, but this black dog is a different spin on it, that's for sure.
Something about the way she said it, the fear in her eyes, the pale complexion of her face. She had seen something dark. I was a good lad, kept to the rituals set forth, and was always mindful to do everything my ma had said to do.
Wow.
But none of that mattered until I met that thing.
Wow.
When did you first make contact with 023?
Awesome look.
A few days before the incident, I had enlisted in the British Army during the war.
Okay.
Me and my mates were out making our scheduled perimeter patrols at night. We were walking back to camp when one bloke stops right in the middle of the road, staring off to something in the distance. It was black, pitch black, darker than the night itself. Me and the other soldiers backed away, but this one lad, he started walking closer to get a better look.
What happened to him?
He turned to say something about it being just a dog, and as he did, the thing pounced.
Yeah.
All I saw was a shadow of black fur, and I fell back. The other soldier ran off to get reinforcements. I don't remember much after that, just flashes. I remember rage. I remember seeing my friend beneath a large creature. I remember falling back and hitting my head. I felt a strange soreness across my whole body.
Strange soreness?
I lifted myself up and rubbed the back of my head. It was covered in blood.
I guess so.
My vision was blurry, and I called out for help. There was no reply, but then I saw the beast peer over the roadside.
Oh my gosh.
I closed my eyes, sitting perfectly still, trying to muffle my breathing. I felt its hot breath against my ear as it sniffed at me. It was taunting me,
He was taking his
testing
mom's
me.
advice, though. He wasn't
How do you
looking at
mean?
it.
It was trying to get me to look at it.
Yeah?
But I just kept hearing my mum's voice in my head, telling me to keep my eyes shut. And that's exactly what I did.
So this is what I don't get. If this is an intelligent force, there's some intelligence behind here, just wanting to look at it, there must be a way of it, like, gathering life force or something like that. Because think about it. If it wanted to kill you, why wouldn't it just kill you right then and there, right? Just bite you, or it ate its friend, you know? So why stare at something? We don't know the whole story. This is just what I read a little bit from the article, the wiki article about the SCP. But why look at something to kill it? It's kind of puzzling me right now.
How did you manage to repel it?
I didn't. It might have just been a few minutes, but it felt like hours. I thought at any moment it would finally get fed up and attack,
Right.
but it didn't. I started hearing shouts from the troops, and I could see lights begin to shine around me. I heard the creature take off into the woods, but I was still scared to open my eyes.
Yeah.
I got placed on a stretcher and got carried back to camp.
You mentioned an incident.
Yes. While in triage a couple days later, I read a paper that talked about a massacre at a nearby church. All of the bodies had been filled with dark ash,
Wow.
like they had been burned from the inside out.
See, that's
It didn't
basically
mention the
what it
beast in the
does.
article, but I knew that somehow they must have been connected.
What happened to the other soldiers on patrol with you?
They were fine, at least for a while. But exactly 1 year after we were attacked in the forest, one of them died in battle, and the other's father passed away from a heart attack. Seems like a weird coincidence, yeah? But my mum would always say that the black dog would take you or your loved one.
Yeah, it's
Have you
weird.
ever heard of anyone preventing this from happening?
What? No. If I'm being honest, I haven't thought about this in years.
Why the gun right now, Agent Green? He's volunteering all this information. Put the gun down. Quit threatening the man.
Try not to.
Well, I'm asking you to think real hard
God
about any and
dang.
all things that might be able to stop this.
Please,
Oh.
I don't know. I've told you everything I can.
Hold on. I bet you he's got a loved one that he's trying to prevent dying. I bet you. That's the only thing. That's why he'd be acting like this so rash.
I'm
Look at him.
sorry.
He doesn't want to kill him. He's got tears in
I
his
just-
eyes.
I've run out of options.
I knew it.
You looked into its eyes, didn't you?
Yeah. I did.
Wow.
I wish there was something I could do for you. It can't be easy to know the day you're going to die. How long you have left.
I'm not worried about me. And I think it knows that. It's coming after my son.
Oh no. Wow.
He's someone I always looked up to. After all the SCPs he's contained, the man's a legend.
Strange that I haven't heard more about him, though his record does seem quite impressive. Dr. Buck?
Buck.
Are you feeling alright? I don't mind doing the interview with him myself.
Or we could always reschedule for another time.
No, that won't be necessary.
Okay, no problem. You just seem distracted is all.
Something on your mind?
The only thing distracting me is the two of you. Please give me a minute alone to study the subject in peace.
Uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am.
She's developing some feelings. Yep. So that. Uh-oh. Heart rate's increasing. Oh no.
Doctor? Doctor, come quick!
No. Stay with me, buddy.
He's dreaming.
We gather here today to remember Thomas Green Jr.
Oh, he's dreaming about his son's death. So it already happened. Wow, man. That was intense. Y'all, so many... I got a little bit of mixed emotions about Dr. Buck and Agent Green. You know, we haven't seen a whole bunch of history between them, but there's been a little blossoming relationship happening there, and to see it kind of fold up like this is bad. Apparently, so him being in the bed, if you aren't clear about this, him being in the bed is he was in a vampire's gut. I think it happened. He was harmed, wounded in a raid that they did on the SCP Dracula factory. The other agent that was there, Lawrence, actually saved him. So they were supposed to do an interview after that to speak about what happened, and he was recovering quite well, apparently. But him being in the hospital bed, it seems like he's not doing so good anymore. But all of that was him dreaming about his own occurrences in the past. I think that's how it all goes. It's a little bit to keep up with, but all in all, it's a great story. Guys, make sure to go check out SCP Animated. Their link's going to be in the description as well as here. And, of course, the Dracula Factory video that I've mentioned, as well as another one that I reacted to from him here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.
Break it down.